Mary, I'm sorry, Alicia. Nisha, I love y'all. I'm sorry that went my attention. The gun went off. I would never try to hurt him. He a great day. I'm sorry, Mary.
All right. Somebody help me, please.
In the late hours of November 19th, 2019, a wife would kill her husband a day after he had complained about her. At around 10:35 p.m., deputies responded to a reported burglary at the Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard in Greenville, South Carolina. What was initially believed to be a routine burglary call would quickly escalate into a full-blown homicide investigation. Upon arriving at the motel, deputies discovered the lifeless body of the 29-year-old husband inside one of the rooms. Upon closer investigation, he had suffered a gunshot wound, but investigators would quickly realize that his death was not the result of a burglary gone wrong. The situation immediately shifted from a property crime to a murder investigation. This case reminds us of another unforgettable tragedy, the case of a 43-year-old security business owner and father of 3 sons, who was tragically killed by his wife for his life insurance. If you haven't watched that one yet, I'll link it at the end. It's a heartbreaking echo. Now let's look at the life and tragic death of David Edens Jr.
This bitch, well, y'all do not understand, boy. I wish I never dealt with her, boy, ever again in my life.
David Marquis Duke Edens Jr. was born on April 22, 1997, to parents David Edens Sr. and Sharita Gorey. He was only 22 years old at the time of his tragic death. David lived in Greenville, South Carolina, where he was deeply rooted in his community. He was the father of 2 young children, Kalani and Amier, whom he adored and worked hard to provide for. Sadly, it would be the mother of one of his children that would kill him. David attended Caroline Academy, where he made connections and friendships that would shape his life. According to his social media, he was a lively, funny, and personable individual who had an infectious smile and a positive attitude. His posts reflected a man who loved life, making him well-liked by those who knew him. David was especially known for his sense of humor and ability to lighten the mood of those around him. But in addition to being a dedicated father, David had other passions. He had aspirations in music. He was an aspiring rapper, often sharing videos of his performances online in hopes of gaining recognition.
Hello, Jory. Fact, me and my partners wait. Fall out now, bitch, we kick them sticks. Okay. Pull up with a stick. Wait. Hit them with a sticker. Yo. Talking too much shit on rolling rigs. Fact. Handle with the shit. Fact. They respect my grip and not the ugly in this bitch. I'm with the shit.
His social media presence painted the picture of a man who was not only passionate about his craft, but also determined to build a future for himself and his children. David's family, especially his father, David Edens Sr., was his core support system. They were always there for him as he navigated the ups and downs of fatherhood and the challenges life threw his way.
It ain't no regular wheel.
Wow, babe.
His loved ones described him as someone who would do anything for his kids, always prioritizing their happiness and well-being above all else. However, David's life would be tragically cut short by someone who he never imagined would want to hurt him. While David worked tirelessly to provide for his children, his life, however, was complicated by his relationship with his baby mother, 25-year-old Kodesha Ayuna Bryson, the mother of his youngest daughter. But their relationship was far from perfect. They were always having arguments and constant tension. Kodesha, who worked as a cashier at McDonald's in Greenville, South Carolina, met David while living in the same city. They began dating before the birth of their daughter, Amier. While they tried to make their relationship work, it soon became clear that it was unhealthy. Kodesha had 3 children in total, but only one, Amier, was David's. Despite their troubled relationship, David was dedicated to his daughter, though the relationship with Kodesha was full of emotional highs and lows. As the relationship began to deteriorate, they made a decision. David and Kodesha decided to break up. Despite their separation, they initially tried to co-parent their daughter in a mature way. However, this was not without its challenges. Kodesha, known for her erratic behavior and toxic tendencies, struggled to let go of the relationship. According to friends and family, she often did things to make David's life more difficult, creating a toxic and emotionally draining environment for both of them. Their interactions were marked by frequent arguments, and Kodesha's behavior became increasingly volatile even after the breakup. David, despite the constant turmoil, remained committed to his children. He worked hard to maintain a positive relationship with his daughter and tried to shield her from the toxicity of his ongoing conflict with Kodesha. In one of David's social media posts, he shared a disturbing altercation with Kodesha that left viewers both shocked and concerned.
Hey! Hey, for real, man. Well, leave. Man, somebody come get their home girl, man. What wrong with her? Somebody come get their Huh?
Huh? You heard me.
What you saying?
Why you up there trying to front for them? I cracked your window.
This not my car.
I don't give a who car it is.
It ain't in my name.
You driving it, so you responsible.
I'm taking it back today.
I don't give a.
It's a rental.
I don't care.
Move.
I'm finna take your taxi.
Y'all look at the stupid fishes. Y'all, oh my God, boy, this shit is funny as I'm finna pull back up. I'm gonna back.
In the video, David was inside a vehicle with the windows rolled up, while Kodesha stood outside, visibly upset. It was clear from the tension in the air that David didn't want to engage with her face-to-face, as he refused to roll down the window. Kodesha, however, wasn't backing down. Her frustration quickly escalated as she yelled out that she was going to break the car. David, trying to defuse the situation or perhaps minimize the potential damage, calmly responded,
Baby got a black and mild behind her ear. No, she losing herself. Baby mama, why you doing all that?
I want to talk to you.
Where my child at? Can we go take the DNA test today?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Oh.
Why would you do that? You ain't want to take it anyway. You ain't want to take it anyway.
She play too much, man. Hey, look though. Boy, I'm so tired of this. Boy, y'all do not understand, boy. I wish I never dealt with her, boy, ever again in my life.
but it was evident that her fury was not easily calmed by his words. As the situation heated up, Kodesha took a step further by pouring a can of drink onto the vehicle's window. The cold liquid splashed against the glass, creating an even more tense atmosphere. But Kodesha wasn't finished. The chilling moment came when she suddenly switched tactics and began violently hitting the vehicle's window with something in her fists.
Baby mama. Baby mama, I'm tired of you. You doing things that a child will do. I'ma pull up. I'll run your ass over. I'll run your dumb ass over. I had to pull off. This bitch crazy.
It was a clear attempt to break the glass, to breach the barrier between them. The sound of her pounding on the window was deafening, a physical manifestation of the anger that had been building between them. It was a desperate, unsettling move that left anyone watching wondering just how far Kodesha was willing to go. This altercation, captured in the video, raised serious questions about the relationship between David and Kodesha. What started as an argument quickly spiraled into something much darker, showcasing the unraveling of emotions and the lengths one person was willing to go in order to exert control or make a point. Despite their separation, the drama surrounding David and Kodesha's relationship continued to disrupt his life. With Kodesha's unpredictable behavior and the tension between them growing, David's commitment to his children was tested at every turn. His friends and family expressed deep concern for his well-being, watching as the situation escalated further. Unfortunately, this volatile relationship would ultimately take a tragic turn. On the night of November 19, 2019, David's life was tragically cut short by the very woman who had once been a significant part of his life. The events that unfolded that evening began earlier in the day, when David, perhaps seeking solace or clarity, made a final declaration on his social media account. Tragically, these would be his last words shared with the world. Later that evening, at approximately 10:35 p.m., David was at the Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard in Greenville, South Carolina. He had been staying there as part of his efforts to rebuild his life after his separation from Kodesha. Focused on his music, his children, and moving forward, David seemed determined to escape the turmoil of his past relationship. Little did he know, Kodesha, enraged by David's attempts to move on, had tracked him to the motel. Witnesses who were staying nearby reported seeing Kodesha arrive at the motel. Enraged and desperate, she began smashing windows in an apparent attempt to locate David, her frustration boiling over. After several failed attempts to find him, she finally succeeded in tracking him down to his room. What happened next would turn the night into an unspeakable tragedy. The two were seen engaging in a heated argument outside the motel room. In the heat of the moment, emotions ran high, and the confrontation escalated to a point where Kodesha pulled out a gun, leading to a tragic turn that no one could have predicted. The fatal shot rang out, leaving David lying lifeless on the floor of the motel room. Witnesses who had heard the argument were horrified by what they witnessed. One witness described hearing Kodesha yelling at David, urging him to come outside before the gunshot shattered the tension. The sound of the gunshot echoed through the motel, and in that moment, everything changed. At around 10:35 p.m., deputies responded to a reported burglary at the Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard in Greenville, South Carolina. What was initially believed to be a routine burglary call quickly escalated into a full-blown homicide investigation. Upon arriving at the motel, deputies discovered the lifeless body of 29-year-old David Edens Jr. inside one of the rooms. He had suffered a fatal gunshot wound, and it was clear that his death was not the result of a burglary gone wrong. The situation immediately shifted from a property crime to a murder investigation. Witnesses at the scene provided authorities with crucial information. They reported seeing a woman, later identified as Kodesha, acting aggressively and smashing windows around the motel, seemingly in search of David. As the altercation unfolded, witnesses described a heated argument between the two, and it became evident that Kodesha's anger had reached an uncontrollable point. One witness recalled hearing Kodesha shouting for David to come outside, but the situation soon escalated to violence when Kodesha pulled out a firearm. The fatal shot was fired, and David was found dead in one of the motel rooms, his life tragically ended by the very woman who had once been so close to him. Despite being clearly identified by witnesses and her presence at the scene, Kodesha had already fled the motel by the time law enforcement arrived.
Following breaking news this morning, deputies have found one person inside a Motel 6 in Greenville.
And 7 News' Jennifer Martin is live at that scene along Wade Hampton Boulevard. Jennifer.
Hi, good morning. Yes, deputies were called to this Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard last night responding to a reported burglary. And just to give you a reference point, this Motel 6 is close to Wade Hampton High School and the Fine Arts Center. When deputies arrived here, they said that they found a man unresponsive inside of that room, and he had a wound. The coroner's office identified the man as 22-year-old David M. Edens Jr. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and the coroner's office estimates that the time of injury was 10:35 last night, and an autopsy will be performed later today to determine the cause and manner of. Now, this is still under investigation by the Greenville County Coroner's Office and Greenville County Sheriff's Office. They are investigating this as a homicide, but we will keep you updated with information online and on air. Live in Greenville County, Jennifer Martin, 7 News.
The investigation into the tragic death of David began immediately after deputies arrived at the motel where the shooting occurred. Authorities quickly declared Kadisha Bryson a person of interest and launched a manhunt to locate her. As the investigation progressed, deputies pieced together the events that led to David's death. David and Kadisha had been in an on-again, off-again relationship, marked by intense emotional turmoil. Despite the breakup, Kadisha's anger and jealousy were clear, especially after David made a public post on social media declaring his intent to stay single and avoid toxic relationships. This post, which would turn out to be his last, seemed eerily prophetic. Witnesses at the motel described the events leading up to the fatal shooting. One guest reported seeing a woman desperately searching for someone, busting out windows at several motel rooms until she found her target. Once she located David, she began yelling at him to come outside. When he did, the witness observed her shoot him. Surveillance footage from the area, witness statements, and forensic analysis would later play a crucial role in piecing together the events leading to David's death. The deputies learned that Kadisha had tracked David to the motel, possibly determined to confront him about their relationship. The final confrontation, fueled by rage and desperation, ended in a fatal shooting. David and Kadisha had been arguing for months following their breakup. The emotional instability and volatile nature of their relationship were well known to their friends and family. Kadisha had made repeated threats to David, and the two were often seen engaging in heated verbal sparring. Investigators found that the motel confrontation was simply the tipping point after months of escalating tension. Kadisha's history revealed a pattern of toxic relationships and violent outbursts. Her deep-seated anger toward David, possibly exacerbated by his efforts to start a new chapter in his life, played a significant role in the tragic outcome. As authorities continued to work tirelessly to locate Kadisha, the community was left shaken by the brutal crime. Family and friends of David mourned his loss, and the events surrounding his death raised chilling questions about the toxic dynamics of his relationship with Kadisha. What began as a routine call to a motel turned into a heartbreaking tragedy, leaving a lasting impact on everyone involved. But the police won't wait too long to locate Kadisha. Kadisha turned herself into law enforcement in connection with David's murder the day after the shooting. She was arrested and charged with murder, possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, and malicious damage to property. Her surrender was a turning point in the case, as it allowed the authorities to move forward with the legal process. The community, still reeling from the shock of David's death, awaited Kadisha's trial, hoping for justice for the young father and his family. During her bond hearing, Kadisha expressed remorse for her actions, claiming that the shooting was an accident and that she had never intended to kill David. She issued a tearful apology to David's family, stating, "She wanted me to get his stuff out of the motel, and I didn't have anywhere to put it. The fighting kept going on, and that's when I grabbed the firearm. I wasn't intending on doing it. We were both mad."
We just want to know why. He left his kids, he left his family. The rest is around the holidays. And we just want to know why. He's a good father. Good family person, good outgoing person. The question is this why?
No, I want any commentary directed at me. So she directed her commentary to me. So if you have anything to say, you can say it. Be respectful. I said directed. I apologize. My intention was never hurt him. I never tried it. Okay. Y'all, I'm sorry. Michaela, I'm sorry. Mary, I'm sorry. Alicia, Nisha, I love y'all. I'm sorry that went my attention. Alright. The gun went off. I would never try to hurt him. He's a great daddy. I'm sorry, Mary. Alright, okay. Alright. Did you have any questions about the charges or anything? If not, y'all can let us know. Did y'all have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, y'all agree though.
Okay.
This
However, David's family, who had accepted Khadijah as part of their own, found it difficult to accept her apology. The loss of David left a profound impact on his family, and the fact that Khadijah was responsible for his death left them with more questions than answers. Khadijah Bryson was denied bond following her arrest, and as of now, there have been no definitive updates regarding her sentencing for the murder of David Edens Jr. after she was charged in 2019.
Woman accused of killing the father of her child inside a Greenville motel last night has been denied bond.
Investigators say she knocked out windows of other rooms looking for the victim. 7 News reporter Kimberly Brown has been following the story and she has all the details.
We are in front of the Greenville County Detention Center where Khadijah Bryson is now behind bars, accused of killing her baby's father. Now a family is planning a funeral before they plan their holidays.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Michaela, I'm sorry.
Khadijah Bryson gave a tearful apology to the victim's family during Wednesday's bond hearing, an apology the family says they find hard to receive.
And the question is why? You had time to think?
Bryson is accused of shooting 22-year-old David Edens Jr. Investigators got the call to come to the Motel 6 in the 2000 block of Wade Hampton Boulevard around 10 o'clock last night.
She had gone over to Motel 6 searching for him, busted out at least one other window to one of the motel rooms until finally reaching the one that he was in, busted out that window.
Deputies say 25-year-old Bryson shot Edens during an altercation. Those who called the motel home say they're pretty shook up.
It was just scary. I just went in my room.
Now with the holidays drawing near, Edens' family says things won't be the same without him.
I mean, he left his family behind, left his kids behind. I mean, her daughter has, the mother's in jail now. The dad is gone. He has a son. I mean, the question is why? You had time to think. You weren't looking for him.
The victim's family tells us that Bryson and Edens have a child together, but they are no longer a couple. Now the father is gone and the mother is behind bars. The child will spend the holidays with family members. Reporting from Greenville, Kimberly Brown, 7 News.
The Greenville community was deeply affected by the tragedy. David's family expressed profound grief and confusion, struggling to understand the events that led to his death. His father, David Edens Sr., emphasized the lasting impact on their family, particularly the young daughter left behind. Community members rallied around the family, offering support and calling for greater awareness of domestic violence issues. David's family was devastated by his untimely death. His father, David Eden Sr., spoke about the heartbreak of losing his son and the challenges of raising David's children without him. His family repeatedly asked why this happened, struggling to understand what had driven Khadisha to take David's life. The Greenville community, which had known David as a friendly and well-liked young man, was shaken by the tragedy. Local residents were left questioning how such a violent act could stem from what should have been a peaceful co-parenting relationship. David and his family and friends, as well as community members, came together to mourn the loss and support each other through the grief. 22-year-old David Edens Jr. was laid to rest on November 30th, 2019, in Pinedale Memorial Park in Piedmont, South Carolina. The funeral service was attended by family, friends, and community members who remembered him as a devoted father and a beloved member of the community. Tributes highlighted his love for his children and his aspirations for a better future. His children, who now faced a future without their father, were at the heart of the ceremony, reminding everyone of the true impact of this senseless tragedy. While David's family struggled to come to terms with the loss, they vowed to continue honoring his memory and ensuring that his children grew up knowing how much their father had loved them. David's story is one of heartbreak and loss, but it is also a call to action for those in toxic relationships. Domestic violence, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, can escalate quickly. David's death reminds us that we must take all threats seriously, even if they seem minor at first. No one should have to live in fear, and it is essential to take the necessary steps to ensure that violence does not become the answer. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.